Bracken Man, another artistic masterpiece from the house of Amouage. Let's find out. First impression coming up. What's going on, YouTube fragrance family? Welcome to another first impression on the Robes08 channel. Today I'm going to be sniffing out Bracken Man from the house of Amouage. Now, Amouage, one of my favorite fragrance brands, niche brands on the market today. I absolutely love the artistic character of Amouage fragrances. Sometimes I don't like the fragrance, but the artistic side of the fragrance, I have to give it props. Especially their older stuff is great in these Canadian winters. I love the Memoirs, the Interludes, Jubilation 25. I can continue on and on. However, Amouage is starting to branch out a little bit more. I'm going into a lot of this stuff, especially Bracken Sunshine, are I'm not going to say more mainstream, but very much a little softer. They're trying to stray away from the silver frankincense, which they're known for. So really interesting. I love Sunshine Man was something that was off the cuff, a little different, but I absolutely loved it. This one right here, Bracken, under the same umbrella here, really different fragrance. The more I wear this fragrance, and I know this is my first impression, but I've worn it a few times, and I have the dry down here, and very much so a fragrance that's very artistic, which I absolutely love, but also more made for spring and not these Canadian winters. Now, before I get into it, I just want to thank my partner, FragranceX.com, for this scent right here. You can purchase Bracken Man on their website. You can utilize my code ROBES08 to receive 15% off on any particular fragrance on FragranceX, and also this beauty right here, Bracken Man. So as usual, I have the dry down right here. It's actually my scent of the day today. I will remind myself of this introduction. I have nothing on my hand here, so I'm going to spray this here and remind me of the introduction of Bracken. Do one spray. And the one thing about Bracken, off the top, this fragrance is very much away from the old school, and that's what I was talking to you guys about, the introduction here. Reminds me very much of a spring-like, fall-like scent. I mean, it really has that mustiness, that herbal patchouli, fur-like feel to the fragrance, but it also has some freshness that which would make Bracken great for spring, just because it has some lavender and it has a little bit of brightness from the citruses. But really, your main factor here would have to be some spices here, but there's that musty herbal patchouli that grasps you. Good amount of cloves here that gives you a good amount of spice. Some fresh lavender, so it kind of brings you into spring, and a little bit of citruses. There's a little bit of brightness here. Not too much, just enough to not make this fragrance too dark. I really like this introduction. Complex as I would expect from an Amouage fragrance. It has some green, dirty, almost fur-like from the cypress, and that's one of the major factors in Bracken from what I'm smelling in this introduction is that cypress here, or that fur-like greenness to the fragrance. The spices, we have some cloves and some nutmeg in this fragrance, and those are the two that I pinpointed, and they really are they're major factors, but they really don't push themselves too much. There's a lot of fragrances that cloves and nutmeg just really embellish a fragrance, really just tackle your nose, and in this fragrance it has a little bit of that kick, a little bit of that push, but it feels like they've been restrained because there's so much more going on. That fur, that herbal patchouli, and of course that lavender and those citruses. So there's a lot going on, and I can't wait. Amouage fragrances are fun for me to dissect and review, just because there's so much going on. I'm sure I missed so much from this opening, but that's what I'm getting from this fragrance. Really is a fragrance that is not going to be everybody's taste. I'll tell you right now, that mustiness, the fur and the herbal patchouli is not something, with of course cloves, isn't something that a lot of people will like. So I can see why this fragrance isn't everybody's cup of tea, but the people that love those type of notes, they are well blended in this fragrance. Now the dry down on my arm here, this fragrance has, the dry down still has that patchouli. It's got the cypress and the spices. It's green, earthy, but not too much. Continues with some of the aromatics. The lavender's still kicking around to keep it going a little too dark on your skin. It has great blend. Good depth here, and the complexity is what I come to expect from the house of Amouage. So overall, Bracken Man, I gotta say, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the artistic composition here of Bracken. Amouage has done it again with Bracken Man, and even though this is not my favorite type of scent, and I'll be honest, it's not, you can only appreciate what it brings to the table right now, especially as a first impression. It's not one of those that knocks my socks off, because I do have certain tastes that I absolutely love. This is not the type of scent that I would absolutely love, but artistically, very well done as a fragrance, and only coming from Amouage, you would come to expect that. So I can't wait to review it, delve into it a little bit more. I can't wait to actually wear it. I think this is the springtime scent. I think personally, when the snow kind of comes out here in Canada and it's a little damp here, I think that one's going to be a gem for me in the spring. So that's when I think this one's going to really shine, less than, of course, right now we're in the midst of our winter season. So it is one of those fragrances that I kind of like wearing right now around Christmas time. It has that fur like cypress that works very well around this time. But anyway, I don't want this to run too long, but I want to thank you all for watching, supporting my channel, and of course, if you have smelt Bracken, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. You love it, you hate it, whatever you want to say. This is, of course, my first impression on the fragrance, and I think it's actually pretty decent. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good one.